Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Sports Talk is presented by Uneducated Network, both on YouTube. Please check them out. Like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk and Uneducated Network. That being said, let's get into it, y'all. I want to talk about the NFL rule change. This is my rant. I'm gonna take just a few minutes out of you guys' time. I'm gonna talk about the new rules that the NFL has, decided to go through. And I'm not a big fan of either, however people say it these days. Let's start off with the minor ones first. The kickoff. Now they've changed the rule that whenever you do a kickoff, if it goes into the end zone, it's automatically a touchback. Automatically. Also, the kicking team, there's no more 5 yard running head start for the kicking team now. You have to run when the ball is kicked. And then that way it's a lot of one-on-one hand playing going on, which I do not like it at all. Here's why. They concentrate so much on player safety, but before we get into the player safety part, let's talk about the actual football part. Kickoffs used to be, or special teams, they're momentum changers. They're the difference between football games. It's always like that. There's something spectacular. It could change a game, or it could change in a good way or change in a bad way, depending on what happens on the play. But special teams is there for a reason, because special things happen under special teams. Yes, there's cause for injury more likely on that play because you got Goliaths going head on. Here is my thing that the NFL is just not getting. It is a contact sport. You can do all the rules you want, but head-on-head collisions will always happen, no matter what. You cannot stop that. Physicality on physicality is always going to happen in the NFL. They want to stop that because a few guys are talking about their heads are hurting and this is going on and yada, yada, yada. Well, look, I understand that. Here's my thing. Parents, the ones who do not like football, the ones who think that it's a rough sport, here's what you can do for me. Do not put your kids in football. We've been saying it forever now. If you do not like football, don't put your kids in it to where they will like football. How about that? That's about as simple as you can get. If you don't want your kids to play in any contact sport, don't put them in football. Keep them in flag football until they're 19 years old, for all I care. It is a contact sport. It's always going to be contact. People are always going to get hurt. It is what it is. You cannot stop it. You can only hope to contain it. And they're trying to contain it and it's not working because it's now to make the game safer, you're making the game worse, in my opinion. Now they put the rule in, guys can't lower their heads anymore and draw contact with their heads being lowered. I understand that injuries happen that way. But now you're asking a ball carrier who can no longer target anyone with his helmet anymore to say just get hit regular. It doesn't happen. Instantly, I played running back. I know how it is for when someone's going to hit you to put your head down. I understand that. I know that it's human nature. Now you're asking these guys to, I guess they want to tackle properly, but it doesn't make any sense. People are going to miss a lot of tackles. Ask Marcus Williams. I mean, I'm a diehard Saints fan. I should know all about that. It hurt my heart. But what happened to him? He didn't want to get a pass interference call or some kind of cheap shot call against the Vikings, so he freezes up. You're going to get a lot more of those plays. You're going to get a lot of 45 to 42 kind of games, and no one's going to like that. It sounds good, and it sounds all lovely, but guess what? There's two aspects in the football. Three. There's special teams, there's offense, and there's defense. People want to see defense as well. We don't want to see it strictly being offensive. Now, 41-33 was a score in the Super Bowl, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, no, both. What a great Super Bowl!" If you think about it, no one could stop anyone, so it's not going down as a top 10 Super Bowl, in my opinion. There was no defense. There was one defensive play the whole entire game, which changed the game. Since no one's playing defense, someone's got to play defense to win the game. 41-33, I thought that was abysmal because both defenses looked very poochies, in my opinion. So it's going to not help the game. It's going to hurt the game. And I am very offended that the NFL will go this route. Now, here's the biggest one I want to talk about. So for all immature people, bye-bye. But let's talk about the NFL changing the national anthem. I am definitely not a big fan of that. Here is why. The national anthem when people were doing kneels for that, it wasn't to disrespect the flag, and people know that. These owners know that that was not the intention. That is not going to happen. They did it for other unjust reasons of African Americans being no police brutality. When we say they, we mean Colin Kaepernick. Yes, he's obviously been blackballed from the NFL, obviously, and he had followers, the suitors, who did the same thing because it was for a bigger cause than football. But these white owners, who all 32, I believe, are white, they don't see that way. My thing is, African Americans go through a tough time in this United States. We got 13% of the population, but we populate the jail cells by 80%, something like that. So, here's my take on it. As African Americans, we have been through and seen things that these white owners have not even thought about doing or seeing or been through. There's a reason why Kaepernick took that knee. And yes, it's for police brutality, but it's a lot more. It's for the African American race. The white owner, he doesn't care. It's all about the almighty dollar. A couple of fans said we're not going to watch your games anymore. They shut everything down. This is another stranglehold on the African American culture to try and shut us up. Everyone says, do your stuff on your own time. But when we do that, like the Black Lives Matter thingy, everyone got crazy about that. That's not during a football game. And I guarantee the ones who are saying you should stand up for the National Anthem are the same people sitting down while the game is going on. If you want to get real technical, then NFL should stop using the American flag as using it as like pins and shirts and advertisement. They got to stop that. It is very unjust because now that they feel threatened, and I don't know why they feel threatened, so they say that you don't have to come to the field, you can stay in the locker room. If you do that, it comes down to a fine or suspension or ejection. I'm like, it's gotten that serious now that all of a sudden you guys have to do that route because of who? Your fan base? Oh, I forgot. It's probably a lot of Republicans, aka white people, just being real. But that I'm just very disappointed by the NFL. Very disappointed because these guys who are your guys, African Americans who make up a big portion of the NFL, these guys are trying to make a difference outside of football because football is just football. But the lives of happiness, eternal happiness. All these guys, these owners who are probably saying that they're Christian, and the Bible said you shouldn't judge anyone, but they will take their money over the word of God. And that's what I do not like. This world, we're trying to make it a better place, and the only way you can do that, kids these days listen to athletes more than their families. So when an African American is going on the TV screen because he's popular now, the athlete, the NFL guy, the NBA guy, when they say things, people listen. Instead of listening to your mom or your dad right next to you, they generate or gravitate more to the popular guy that's on TV. So when African Americans use that to their advantage to speak out, the NFL players, the owners don't like that. They don't respect that. Do it on your own time. No. There's no time like the present. No time like right now. I have my status quo. I can do that. I can make a difference, and I'm gonna show it in front of the national audience. And Colin Kaepernick got what he wanted. He got the attention. He got people talking about it. He got the NFL scared now. The NFL is scared. They're scared when a black man gets some sort of power. They feel threatened now. And all he was trying to do was just show the cause for unjust actions that have been going on across the world, and it still is. So that is my rant. I pretty much disagree with every single thing the NFL did as a rule change when the kickoffs and the helmet collisions and the national anthem banning of people kneeling, that kind of stuff. I'm done with it. Yes, I'm still gonna watch football. Well, stop watching football. No, I'm still gonna watch football. So it's stupid. Football is the best game in the world. But I just don't like what outside of football, the owners. I don't like what they're doing. Let the guys be themselves. That makes for great TV and great football. Guys being themselves. So, that being said, you guys, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk, and also see my show on Educated Network as well, both on YouTube. That being said, my next one, I'm going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers facing the Golden State Warriors, because the Golden State Warriors just beat the Houston Rockets to advance to the NBA Finals. So, all sports fans know what time it is. Stay smart, stay educated. Peace. Sorry, the rant was kind of like Almost 10 minutes.